Hi friends and subscribers, and welcome to Starry Hilder's Homestead. Spring is in the air and you can see it's sunny out and it is time to start our seeds. I love starting my seeds, and what we are going to do in this video is share our off-grid seed methods with you friends at home. Why? Because most of the people who come to our channel don't live off the grid. No, they come to see how we live off the grid and how we do things. And seed germination really can be a challenge when you live off the grid. If you think about the conveniences that you friends have at home, heating pads, you can plug them in to germinate your seeds, right? Well, we can't. Same thing with grow lights, 24/7. We don't have privy to plugging in those grow lights and keeping them going for 24 hours a day. We just don't. Even such things as, say, a refrigerator. You know, you can put your seed trays on top of a refrigerator where it's warm. Our refrigerator is still outside for energy efficiency. And what about like a laundry room where it's nice and toasty warm when you're doing your laundry and your dryer's going? You know, Starry does it the old-fashioned way. So I don't have access to that warm laundry room either. And even the temperature of your house, if you think about a conventional house that's on the grid, you've got a thermostat that's usually connected to propane or natural gas as your source of heat. Real easy to germinate seeds then in a nice warm room, and you can just adjust the thermostat. Well, we don't have a thermostat. No, we have wood and a wood stove. So as you can see, those are obstacles that you have to address when you are living off the grid. And we have addressed those, and we're going to share them with you because they are unconventional, but they work, and it's kind of cool. And the other thing we're going to talk about are seeds, because so many friends have been asking, Starry, what type of seeds do you use? Do you save your seeds? What do you think about hybrid versus heirlooms? So we're going to go over there. Mr. Hilder is already at work with the seeds. We're going to talk about seeds, how we plant, and then we're going to talk about how we can germinate those little baby seeds so that they sprout, and we can get them out to our Back to Eden garden. Okay, so come along. Let's go to it. Through what the Hilders use on their homestead. I go and buy a Jiffy Greenhouse, and we like using the Peat pods. And you can see Mr. Hilder's over there. He's our green thumb gardener. And what you do with these peat moss pods, simple. You just add water. I think you added the water this morning, right?
Last night.
Last night. And they plump up. So this is what they look like when they're plumped up. And we are actually doing, are you doing 1 or 2 seeds per pod?
I'm going to do 1 because then I just plant a couple extra in case some die.
Yeah.
But if you they say put 2 or 3 in there, and then you got to dig around and replant things.
And that's the thing when you do with these smaller peat moss. Last year we did, 3 to a pod, and you can. But you'll see that root system really gets entangled, and just our preferences, they're so delicate. I think
you kill more of them trying to separate them.
Yes. You kill more of them trying to separate them. And this is the thing about the Jiffy Greenhouse. There's 72 of these little pods in here, and this thing only cost me $5.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's real cheap. Then when it comes to seeds, everybody asks about what do we use on our homestead. We started collecting seeds back in Wisconsin. We brought a lot of the seeds with us, and then when I came out here, I purchased every year seeds that are on sale. Do I pay attention to seeds that are old and have an expiration date? I've used seeds that are expired and they do well. I've used seeds that are new and they do well. So I don't have a problem. But we do save our own seeds. But I'll show you what we have. These things in the Mylar bag actually are survival seeds, and we've used these before. I really like them. A seed exchange program in our community, so I am participating in that, and those are all heirloom seeds. I also have bought and close out every year more heirloom seeds. I like using this Heirloom Evermore. We get them from Azure Standard. So you'll see I have a mix of heirlooms. The great thing about heirlooms, if you don't understand what heirlooms are, is they're just seeds that have been grown for a very long period of time, and they're just passed down. They're heirlooms, they're handed down. There's no commercial companies that are involved, and they all can be open pollinated, which means they will produce seeds, and you can reuse those seeds. So when you are on a self-sustainable homestead, having heirloom seeds is really going to be important, because if you think about it, sooner or later, you may get to the point where things got bad, we might not be able to get hybrid seeds. Now the hybrid seeds, I have hybrid seeds. I've been buying them for years. There's nothing wrong with hybrid seeds. You see, I've got burpees here. I've got different varieties of, and I don't have a particular brand that I like to use. These are Bentleys. The thing with the hybrids is they're hardy. Just remember that what they end up doing is crossbreeding the parents, the best plant. So they're more disease resistant. And even though you will not be able to get the seeds at the end of the year, it's still okay. You have to kind of weigh what you want in your garden. Do you want successful disease resistant plants? Because you will always have great success with a hybrid. Heirlooms, not so much. That's the thing. You'll learn when you are growing heirlooms, you got to plant a lot, because
Half of them don't make it.
yeah, half of them don't make it. And that's just the reality of it. It's great because you will get your own seeds, but half of them may not make it. So this is just kind of the mixes here on Starry Hilder's Homestead. There's the wood stove, and look at that. Oh, we got a fire. This becomes our greenhouse. Greenhouse can present some unique challenges, and we found that out the first year. So we have been refining our methods. So one of the tips that I am going to point out is we use thermal mass with our wood stove, which means cement blocks rocks that we got outside, and we also use water, because this gets heated up, and that acts to hold the heat too. So these blocks, rocks, and water get heated up when the stove is stoked up. We shut it down, and then throughout the day, when I put my hand in here, thermal mass, it has absorbed all that heat, and all of these entities stay warm, which provides a nice, constant, warm environment for my seed trays, which is nice. The other thing you have to be aware of is moisture. There is a tendency when using the wood stove for your trays to just dry out. And it's just the nature of the beast. So we've done a couple tricks. You'll see there is a sponge in there. I keep a nice wet sponge inside some of my trays, and that adds to the moisture. So I've got a sponge there, and I've got these sponge too. The other, and here, I forgot. I also keep a wet washcloth on that one. And I have noticed that it really does help keep the pods moist in that very fragile germination state, which is that first week. And then I will put extra plastic on my trays also. Pointer, because even though I went over some tips with the thermal mass and the sponges and all that, just keep checking your trays. The wood stove is really fickle, and we do have a pretty good germination rate, but once those little seedlings start popping through, if that pod dries out, that's it. You got dead seedlings, and then you got to start all over again, and that's not fun. Okay, so now I've got one more unconventional off-grid method of germinating your seeds, especially on days when it's beautiful out, like today, and you don't really want a fire, right? You're like, you know what? I don't want a fire today. So here's our backup plan. Come with me. Greenhouse! Oh, look, it's a Subaru. Yes, I do use my car for really an unconventional greenhouse, and it works great. Just ask the dogs as they germinate. Are you guys germinating with my seeds? Well, technically they're not, because I've got the door open. So don't worry, no animals were hurt in this video. But I did want to really show you, friends at home, seriously, the car is a great way to germinate seeds. It will get up to 90 to 100 degrees when we set the vehicle out in the sun, and especially when we have, like today, we have full sun. So I just park it right in the driveway here, and I load my car up with my seeds, and they keep toasty warm. And you know, and here's another cool little, a car as a greenhouse. Huh, see, there you go. I think that was a pretty cool tip. It was an off-grid tip. So if you ever decide to go off-grid, now you know how to germinate those seeds. And it is really, it's rewarding because that challenge of not being able to just plug something in really does get you thinking. And it's gotten us thinking, and we've been very, very successful here in the homestead, germinating our seeds and watching them grow and then getting them out into our Back to Eden garden. And I'm glad we could share that with you, friends. Okay, until next time, God bless you all, and we will be sharing more videos with you, friends at home. So don't forget to subscribe and share also our videos with your friends.